Ja,
Die Mädchen mit der kleinen Mango.
es war schön.
Und dann,
Ah ja, wo ich in der Küche stand und ich eine Lesson bekommen habe, wie man Mango schneidet.
ja, das war nicht gut, also nicht richtig mit dem Schneiden. Halo teman-teman penonton Ruang RT. Hari ini kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol dengan tamu yang sangat spesial. Salah satu teman terbaik saya, namanya Lena. Dia adalah sebenarnya dulunya sempat menjadi salah satu atlet voli pantai. Kemudian punya background pendidikan mengenai sports event management. Pernah kerja juga di beberapa perusahaan yang sangat ternama di bidang olahraga. Dan sangat spesial hari ini saya ingin memperkenalkan kepada teman-teman sekalian, teman saya yang cantik jelita juga pintar, siapa tahu bisa menginspirasi kita semua. Halo Lena.
Halo Tisha.
We make the question and answer in English. It's okay. I won't trap you with some Indonesian, but I know you know the word a little bit. Even it's only maybe a food name, maybe.
Yeah, two names I know, but the rest I cannot speak in Indonesian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lena, our audience is actually mostly people who also love sports and also want to follow their passions to make something happen in sports industry. So today, I would like you to share some stories from your personal point of view, ask you some question, and then in the end, we'll play a games that you have to choose between this or that in a fast mode. You can't think, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds great, Tisha.
Okay. So Lena, today we want to talk about the sports industry, and for sure you are one of the main stakeholders also, which is part of the sports industry itself. Can you tell me just in an overview where you are work at the moment, what kind of industry and environment, and what is your role within the team?
So thanks, Tisha. So basically, at the moment, I'm working in motorsport. So I'm working across two championships. It's for Formula One and for Formula E.
Okay.
And I'm the senior event and hospitality manager across Formula E and Formula One. And this means I'm responsible for the smiles of our guests and the partners. So basically, I'm organizing everything from the scratch, basically from the budgeting, ticketing, accreditations, scheduling, then the guest entertainment on site. So it's really everything with the focus on the enjoyment of our guests and partners and sponsors. So in the last 2.5 years, I really hosted around 3,000 guests at 32 Grand Prix races. So you can see there is a lot of engagement with the guests. So this is really what I'm doing in Formula One. And in Formula E, it's a bit different because it's the first year that the team is operating in the championship. So I had to really set up everything from the scratch. So it's really more about strategic thinking. How do we want to position the hospitality and events strategy? How do we create new processes to be very efficient?
Okay.
And then I'm also trackside as well to welcome the guests and work in the premium hospitality.
Okay. So meaning you're also doing the budgeting side, you're also doing the implementing and controlling also. Okay, so all
Exactly.
in one go, you have to do okay. Oh, okay.
Exactly. So from the first call when somebody wants to come to trackside to the last goodbye, when they then hopefully leave with a big smile to trackside, and then keep supporting the team and enjoy the sport.
Oh wow, okay. So this is amazing how you actually really treat the fans and the supporter really carefully in terms of the hospitality. So a little bit flashback to the past. What was actually the process of you entering this environment of the sports industry? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your education background or maybe your past experiences.
I remember really well because I was with my parents when I was 16 and watching my favorite sport, actually beach volleyball. So we were watching in 2016 the World Championship in beach volleyball, and I was sitting in this massive stadium with so many like spectators and fans from all around the world. And they really were like so engaged and happy and cheering. And this is when I realized I really want to do this. I want to be the person organizing, staging events like this to unite people, to make them happy, to support the sport. And so then my first step after I finished school was going into international business with events and congress management to set a bit of wider base for just the business side. But then afterwards, after I had my first job at the German Volleyball Federation, I decided I want to solely focus on sports. So I joined the FIFA Master Program, which is an international management master for management, law, and humanities and sport. That's where we met.
Which is where we met.
And this was the best experience because I studied across... What?
No. Continue. I just saying, the FIFA Master. This is where we met. Okay.
And the FIFA Master was really the best experience ever because we were 24 different nationalities in a group of 28 people. So we had the opportunity to just learn from each other because everybody had different background, different obviously nationalities, different point of views, but we all were such a fantastic group and we could just benefit from each other's experience and learn. And so my love for the sport just grew, and I was learning so much from you, Tisha, from your Indonesian background, and that's really how I ended up in the sports world. And I'm now thinking if I would want to do my PhD in sports as well, but this will be the next step.
Wow, this I don't know. Oh, lucky we do this interview.
Here you go.
So, Lena, just like in football, in motorsports, I think it's also there are many stereotype that it's a main place for mostly men, like just like in football, I believe. How do you see this one, and how can you adapt this and work within it?
To be honest, I think it's crazy that in the 21st century we still talk about this at all, because I believe that women and men should be equal because we're both like talented, intelligent people. So I think it's crazy that we still need to speak about it. But I agree with you, like if I look into the paddock, there's a lot of men. In particular, if you look around the cars for the mechanics and the engineers. But then equally, I know from so many like strong women who are working in the background in the engineer's office as well. And in particular in the marketing, there's a lot of women. So I think the women are on the rise. And I think and hope in a couple of years these questions don't even need to be asked anymore because we're all equal. And I think we can just benefit from each other because, there are strong, very strategic, very number-focused women out there, but then there are also very emotional men out there. So I think it's just a mixture of everyone combining the talents.
Yes, I agree with you. I even actually want to ask you this question because this is a question that really often to be asked to me, and I always keep answering it while actually it's not a question to be asked anymore, we have already entering a phase that you can compete equally, right? You can compete from your knowledge, right?
Exactly, and there are so many intelligent women out there, so I think this question should almost be scratched off any question book because we shouldn't have time anymore. We were distinguished between men and women in my mind, but I think you're the best example, right? You can everything, what you work for, what you dream for, and I think you're the perfect example for a lot of women out there as well.
Lena, thank you.
It's true. And I think it's when girls start to doubt themselves, can we achieve this? Can we be a director? Can we be a CEO? Can we open a football club? Can we do this and that? And I think that's not the way forward. It's more like how can we all work together, collaborate, and create the best for everybody.
Lena, can you tell us how was the process of you joining in this one of the most successful motorsport F1 team in such a young age? What was the challenge and how did you handle it? What was the driver's name again? I forgot, sorry.
It's Lewis and Wesley, very good guy. But I think the challenge was really that I never really thought about motorsport, because motorsport is very different, right? Some people even think, is it really sport? But I think we come later to this, how we perceive sport. But my challenge was really to learn about a new job and just change immediately, because I finished my job at the IOC on the Friday afternoon, and on Monday I started in the UK with the motorsport team, and then a week later I was already in Singapore at the first event. So it was a very quick turnover to really adapt to a new environment, to learn, to be open-minded, and just really get the idea of motorsport and learn. But I think when you're open-minded and like interesting and curious to learn something new, it's perfect. Then everybody can do it. So yeah, it was a challenge, but I think I managed it quite well. So, yeah.
What is your most that you can take?
And
You actually made the decision in Indonesia, right?
Say it again.
You actually made that decision to go to the motorsport in Indonesia, right?
Exactly. So basically, I sent my signed contract at your house back to the UK to make sure I get the job. So everything has happened actually in Indonesia with the positive vibes up there. So, exactly.
So actually, when we really have a will, there is a way. Even Lena make it that one happen when she was in Indonesia. So jangan banyak alasan. And then, Elena, what is your most lesson learned that you can take from the motorsport world, from the automotive sports world, that maybe you see it's different from other kind of sports, or maybe you see the same? What is your most lesson learned to take?
I think the lesson learned is really when people question if motorsport is a sport, because some people just perceive like there's only one person or like two drivers per team, but in the end it's like a big team, because when you see the mechanics on a pit stop, it's almost like synchronized swimming, because every movement, everything needs to be so like trained and perfectly done. So I think this is the real sport, that you have a team who does a pit stop, who does the change of the tires so perfectly. And this is what I really learned and surprised myself, that I say, yes, motorsport is a sport. And I think this thought of a team on team sport is really what I learned, and think which really is similar to other sports. If you look into football or basketball or volleyball, it's a team, and if a team works well together, everything is happening and positively happening.
How do you see that? How can the sports industry in the Europe, especially talking where you're from, Germany, or maybe where you were based right now in England, can grow so big, like can grow so much? What do you see that actually the strength point that can bring the sport industry in that country can grow this much until today?
I believe there's a lot of reasons, because first of all, we have a good base. Like we have a lot of sports grounds. So even from a little child age on, you see kids out there playing football or basketball or playing in the sand and something. So I think the infrastructure which we have is great, and it's really like supported in schools as well. So you want the kids to be active, to do sports. And then I think going away from the schools and doing it yourself, the sport, it's like the socializing factor as well. Because now in the UK, obviously there's this whole pub culture. So a lot of people just meet at the weekend, watch it on TV, and watch their football games, the rugby games. So I think it's just the access on TV as well. So it's fairly important that a lot of sports are shown on free TV. And then I think the last point which I realized is the education, because more and more you can see that there are like sports management masters out there, or like bachelors in sport management. So I think this just helps really having a foundation of educational institutions where you can go to and learn and develop yourself. So I think there are various factors which made the sport grow in Germany, in England, or across Europe.
So can I say that's actually really the people itself, it's do the sports, like really participate into the sports first. So not doing, we don't jump into, sometimes when we talk about sports, then sometimes we jump into the elite level. we always want to do, you have to become champion now, like you have to go and train to be an athlete now. But actually the one in Germany, there is so many program to actually you just do and participate in the sports from the very grassroots level in any kind of sports in any places, and then you just participate. That's how you started actually, isn't it?
Exactly. I think as well it's like having the foundation of like growing into and develop. And I think there's a lot of like collaborations as well with like foreign countries.
Collaboration.
So for example, yes. So because for example, my sister, she was playing volleyball on a German level, and she was invited to go to the US for like 2 years to really develop herself and become an elite athlete. She didn't do it in the end, but it's just the pathways to be open and really work across like borders, how you can grow grassroots sport into elite sport.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I think the socializing aspect is a very interesting one, because once you find yourself on the football pitch and play for a couple of, and then the next day you can meet and watch it together on TV, your football stars or sports stars. So I think there's a lot of components. And interestingly, the free on TV is important as well, because now we learned in Germany, for example, Formula One won't be broadcasted anymore, so it will only be on pay TV. So I think this might change the whole dynamic as well. So I think the more sport you can access to give people access to without paying, it's important.
Okay. You were before working in the IOC, right? Like before then you decided.
Yeah.
I believe it's a different experience, a different culture also. Can you tell us more about the personal view of your career? Which one is more challenging and which side is actually interesting? Of course, both has a positive and its own negative, but what is the most challenging and most interesting part?
So I always wanted to work for the IOC. This was always my dream. So to be honest, I sent quite a lot of applications to make it happen, because obviously it's a big organization. A lot of people want to work for them.
Yeah.
But after a couple of applications, I made it. And for me, it's like working for the IOC was just so important, because I felt like the values of sport are really like created there. It's all around how can sport make the world a better place. So I was thrilled that I actually got the chance to work there in 2016. And I started there in the sports department. So I was lucky enough to work on the 2016 Rio Olympic Summer Games. And then on the 2016
you were working on the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, right? Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And I was able to go there and volunteer in Rio on the beach volleyball court, so to get really first-hand experience how it is to be there when at a sport event the whole world comes together and enjoys this 2 weeks of just pure sport happiness. And I also was involved in like the Buenos Aires qualification system, so which determined which athletes will go to the Youth Olympics. And I felt like my first part at the IOC, working in the sports department, really showed me how it is to working at the heart of the sport, where like the rules and the regulations are set for the global sport for all international federations. So I felt like this really opened my eyes what it means really working in sports, so on the center of the sport. And then obviously I moved on, I worked at the international at the German Volleyball Federation, which is a federation as well. I worked in a marketing agency for sailing, and now I'm working in a motorsport Formula One team. So I feel like I made like different steps in my career to see the sport from all different angles, and this just really gave me a perfect opportunity to understand sport very well. And so I would say every step I did was important to develop where I am now. And then I'm curious where my next step will bring me.
Ooh, what a story, Lena! That's actually deserve a long round of applause. But we had a list of questions still. So, in the next season, you'll pack with the Formula E preparations. Many of our audiences actually still need to be brief on what is actually Formula E. Maybe going specific into the motorsport topic now, what is actually the difference between the Formula One and Formula E? Aside from the obvious difference, so what is actually the difference?
Yeah. So I think the main difference is really like the car itself. So Formula E is a full electric motor racing series, whilst Formula One is like a hybrid. It has an engine and a battery. So these are like just the technical differences between the two motorsport series. And then it's like the format is different. So basically in Formula One we have the Friday, the Saturday and the Sunday. So it's a 3-day event. Whilst Formula E is everything is combined on one day. So you have the practice session, you have the qualifying session, Super Pole, and then the race, everything on one day. So this is really interesting from, let's say, from a planning perspective, because everything, all like contractual rights you need to deliver for partners, for your sponsors, needs to happen in one day. So it's a very tough program to get through everything. Then interestingly is Formula E is obviously across the globe, but in 14 races. And the goal of Formula E is to really bring the sport to the people. So they choose like major cities like Jakarta last year, or they go to New York, to Berlin, to London, to really to the heart of the city, to bring the sport to the people, that everybody can watch it and participate. Whilst Formula One is more at a special track, more outside the cities. And what I really want to highlight is the aim of Formula E is to contribute to the sustainability of the world. So they really have strategies in place, how they freight their cars, their containers and everything around to really leave a positive footprint in the world. And as it's only electric cars, obviously the emission is not there. So it's like the whole sport is around sustainability and how we can make the world a better place and how we contribute. And this is very interesting for me as an events manager, because we started to think, how can we make our events more sustainable? We don't have plastic cups. We drink out of like proper water bottles. We want to decrease our garbage which we leave after the event. We want to donate our flowers and stuff. So it's a really interesting approach how to really contribute to the wealth of the earth.
It's really amazing how actually one day event can contribute so much, you know. We sometimes think about always make it really, really big, but actually what matters is actually the outcome, right? Like you said, how then from the Formula E, the one that actually they want to communicate and speak out is about the contribute to the environment. It's how the sport can contribute themselves. That may be the strongest point, because maybe on other sport you cannot see that one happen just in a one day event, right? Yeah.
And the interesting thing is as well, we have a lot of plans in place and thought about and brainstorming, but in the end change only happens in baby steps. So even if we don't achieved everything which we wanted in the first season, obviously which because of the races got cancelled as well, but it's like this small impact, it's a step-by-step improvement, and just be consistent in developing. And I think this is very interesting, and more sports look into how to make the sports world more sustainable and give back.
Okay.
And it's also interesting that a lot of like drivers and athletes turned into like sustainability ambassadors. And I think this is just, again, where you can see the power of sports, what you can use, how you can make the full use of it.
I like how you always highlight, Lena, that a concept, you really highlighted what is the foundation, the real objective, then you turn into the structural thinking, and then not like just jump into how do we work there, how do we do the work here. No, it's actually you to bring us to understand from the foundation. And I think that's a very sounds basic, but there's most of the skill that everyone sometimes forget in a work world, that sports is fundamentally you have to really understand the fundamental reason on why you do things, right? Like this is the in that in 2020 actually before the pandemic, Indonesia was the host country for the Formula E before was actually the pandemic of COVID-19 happens. How do you think that now the Formula E is getting also bigger and growing so fast, especially in Asia?
So basically, just making a comparison to Formula One, obviously the races in Shanghai and Vietnam. Shanghai already has a massive fan base, and Vietnam will have one because it's a fantastic country to go to. And so I'm 1,000% sure that any race in Jakarta or Indonesia will be a great success, because it's just like I mean, I learned it myself when I got out of the plane in Jakarta. It's just the welcoming of the people, the openness, the willingness to host people, the happiness. So I think it's just the atmosphere which you have in your country to welcome fans and drivers and everybody who's in this bubble of Formula E into your country will just make it surely like a success. And I also think like you have a massive city, so you have a lot of landmarks in Jakarta where the racetrack can go through so that people learn more about Jakarta and your culture. And then I believe as well is like the link between sustainability can work perfectly, because I'm not an expert, but I believe that the pollution in Jakarta itself might be a difficult topic. But I think with collaborations with Formula E, this could help the city as well to think how can we contribute to be more sustainable. And I think the Asian continent is in any ways so blessed with like forward-thinking people and intelligent people who I'm sure find ways and processes to make it happen. And then I believe that once the guests and the spectators and fans are in the country, they will use this to explore the wonderful Indonesia and go for Bali, for example, where I feel like this whole sustainability aspect of like sustainability travel and hotels like come to life as well. So I feel like there is a perfect like link between Formula E, Indonesia and travel. So yeah, I'm very positive and excited, and I hope I can go myself to them.
Yes, you should. You should. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful explanations and for remembering our tagline, Wonderful Indonesia, Lena. I don't know whether you meant to say that, but that's actually a correct tagline for us. So, guys, Lena may seems like an European, you know. No, it's not May seems, she is a European. Sometimes I forget that you are European because she can eat a lot of spicy food, like really spicy to the level of a maximum that even sometimes it's compete with me also. So she has visited Indonesia 3 times, right? Isn't it? Right, 3 times, including the period where we had Asian Games in Palembang before. So I want to ask you some slow, easy question right now. So enough with the working and Formula E situation. So I want to ask whether you still remember maybe the name of the food that you ate in Indonesia.
I remember a lot.
You remember a lot? Okay.
I probably cannot pronounce it correctly, but I love my salads. I love my mangoes, the coconuts, and I need to write rambutan. I love them.
Rambutani, like it.
And the green juice, the Kedan Dongjo juice, you know, with the big stone in it.
Oh yeah,
the bitter one. I love it.
Kedondong.
Correct. Yeah. I literally love all your fruits. Like if I would live in Indonesia, I probably need to live somewhere where I have a garden full of all those fruits because I love them and I miss them. I miss my coconut juice and the watermelon juice, like everything. And my fried rice. And I mean, I'm a vegetarian since quite a long time, so I've never tried fish or meat or anything. But I probably have eaten my way through all vegetables which you have, and Tisha showed me and introduced me to. So I just love the food culture you have, and I miss it. It's just nothing in comparison to what we get here in Europe. So I can't wait to come back and visit you, Tisha.
Thank you, Lena. Actually, it's very interesting because we were never really search. Yeah, we were never really search for a vegetarian dish because there is always vegetable around, right? Like there is always you can always find a dish with so many just vegetables only. Even our breakfast menu, the one that we eat normally, also just contain just vegetables. So I wasn't really realized until you coming. Like I was like, oh, okay, you don't eat meat. Oh, my mom was like, oh, panicking and stuff. And then when we realized, no, it's actually we don't really eat a lot that one also. So we really eat more vegetables. So yeah.
So I feel like the 3 times I was in Indonesia, we basically make an explored all the different vegetables, all the different greens, what you can eat. And I think we learned both so much what we can eat in Indonesia. So yeah.
And remember, guys, when Lena doing his big decision to change from first job to second job in the spectrum, she was here in Indonesia and she was doing a lot of meditation in Indonesia to see maybe on how you actually see that, and you were working actually by here. Yeah, I was remembering we were going vacation and then we have to work also, right? We have to work and then yeah.
And I mean, it's not a secret. I love the temples, right? I think you probably got tired of going from one temple to the other, but I just really like culture and school class, and everybody came, and you said, oh, you can only speak when you say hello in English. So I think it's just such a fantastic nation you have, and so open-minded and interested. And I think your youth in Indonesia is just such a wealth of grow and interest. And I think because we were always together and I was the tall white whatever, and then they came, and it's just I think I made my best memories with you traveling in Indonesia. So and I learned so much from you and your culture, and yeah, I just miss it. Yeah.
Lena, many people is actually doubting themselves in our country, especially for something that they could not see yet, because sports industry is still growing. Then people that actually would like to dedicate their life in the sport industry, then you can contribute themselves is not many. There are some, but few, and some that also give up in the midway as well. In your opinion, actually, is it actually different? For Indonesian people, do you think can we compete in the international sports industry? Is it impossible for us actually?
No, I don't think anything is impossible, because I feel the people I met through you in Indonesia, everybody is so open-minded and interested and forward thinking, and I think everything is possible. I think it's just finding the right steps to develop. I think it's important to just be curious, follow the sport news, and just build the infrastructure probably. So I think nobody who is a young kid can do this, but I think there are other institutions in the countries who can keep creating the infrastructure in terms of educational institutes schools or universities, but then also the playgrounds. But I think this is already done very well. And I mean, Indonesia has shown that with the Asian Games, you are capable to host major sporting events. And it's just a culture of welcoming people and the sport knowledge. And I think there's so much possibilities and opportunities out for the future that I'm very sure that Indonesia can host major sport events and develop. And and I think the interesting thing, which I cannot remember the exact sport which you introduced in the FIFA Master, but I think you have so many traditional sports as well. And I think putting even more focus on the traditional side of the sport and where you come from is important as well. And I'm sure you do this brilliantly even more in the future.
Yeah, Lena. Oh yeah, I'm glad you still remember that at that time I was introduced the sepak takraw, the one the volley, right? The volleyball with the the sepak takraw, and then another one was the pencak silat, the traditional martial art that we had. It was actually fascinating also in the class, how do actually the one that we share, that maybe for me it was an everyday that I can see wherever, and then when I show actually to the class, and then they were we never know that this kind of traditional sport is actually came from Indonesia, right? So it's groomed in Indonesia in case of pencak silat,
And I think this was so beneficial and so valuable for the master we had, because we had so many different nationalities and everybody has like a national sport which somebody else is not aware of. I mean, I'm just thinking of like Zumba, for example, what's happening in Tanzania. So I think it just really opens our eyes how sport it is from a traditional point of view. And then not everybody needs to compete in I don't know, in the same sports, right? There's so much traditional behind sport as well. So I think it's just thinking, where do you want to go? Where do you want to put your focus on? And I think not missing the traditional sports is very important too. And I think it's just interesting that, for example, in Germany, who would think beach volleyball is important in Germany? But then in every little village, we almost have a beach court. So it's just the knowledge which is not shared with the wider public. And I think this is why the FIFA Master was such a value for us to learn about the traditional sports.
Lena, from your point of view, what should the Indonesian young people who actually has a passion, in the sports industry would like to go into the world of sports industry, not necessarily to become an athlete, but surrounding on that one, to build the sports industry itself in our country, which you have mentioned there's so much potential on it. How do we start? Where can we begin?
I think the very first point is really have a dream or have a vision in your mind and think, what do I want? And then once you have this dream in your mind, start to write it down. And as soon as you really wrote it down, it's like a goal. And then you can start thinking, how do you start achieving this goal? And I think it's in life, it's not the big jumps. It's almost like the little steps. Sometimes it's a bit forward and a bit backwards. But in the end, if you not lose your goal or your dream, you will get there. And I think this curiosity, which I've seen from all your friends in Indonesia and your family, will help to really realize dreams like that. And then I think as well is just the interest in getting knowledge from TV or the internet and just being up to date what's happening in the world, because everything is so different. And I think this is just the beauty of it, that when we open our eyes what's happening around us in different countries in regards to sport, there's so much how we can work together. And it's really in the end just follow your heart and do what you really, really want. And I think once you found what you really want to do, you will be successful, because then it's from your heart and then you love investing in it, because obviously getting and achieving your goal is lots of work, consistency, probably lots of hours which you put in on your desk, but then you have this great feeling you reach your dream, your goal, and that's, I think, what we all reach for.
Thank you so much, Lena. That was a brilliant answer.
But I think one more thing. There are a lot of people, and I think a lot of people probably say, "Oh, you can't do it. You won't make it." Don't listen to them. If it's right in your heart, I think you can do it.
Yes, you're right. I remember, in the middle of the night, we were actually roommates. So we were always together and then think about, these all crazy people that says that we can't make it. No. We had to just stay focused on what we're doing, right? And then it wasn't easy. We worked and we studied like we studied like hell. It was really really tough. The study itself wasn't easy. It's not that you can get, the sleep was also, you work hard on the thesis until 2-3 a.m. in the morning, then you wake up at 6-7, right? Then you go again. So I'm sure that's also what happened right now with your job as well, right?
Yeah, and I think, I'm basically working 2 jobs, so it's a permanent work thing. And what I just wanted to add is it's okay to ask for help as well. And I think when you ask somebody for help, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, because we're not all the same, right? Everybody has a different brain. Everybody has a different perception. And if we are brave enough to ask for help or for an opinion, it will just help you develop way further than you think you are. And I think that's really the main lesson I learned in our FIFA Master. We are so different, but when we're all open our hearts, we can achieve so much together. And I think that's a very thankful lesson I learned through my master and through you, Tisha. Yeah.
Thank you, Lena. For me also. Für mich auch. Dankeschön.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are coming to the end of the interview part. Now we are entering just the last part of the quick quiz before we wrap up everything. So I have 12 questions for you. So quite a lot,
Okay.
but you can just only choose one or the other. So then it
Okay.
has to be, a quick answer. Then just on top of your mind. But if suddenly you pause, then it's okay. Then we know that you can't choose.
A or B, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
First one, football or motorsport?
Motorsport.
Hamilton and Schumacher.
Hamilton.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
Working with men or working with women?
Working with men.
Working in the office or on the field?
On the field.
Read a book or watching movie?
Reading a book.
Shirt or t-shirt?
T-shirt.
Salak or rambutan?
Salad.
Indonesian man or German man?
British man.
Spielberg or Monza?
Spielberg.
Red Bull or Ferrari?
Oh, Red Bull.
Toto Wolff or Niki Lauda?
Oh, they are perfect team together.
That's a good one. Okay, Lena, was very good to chit chat around today with you. I hope later on the audience can really learn a lot from you. Just for your information, Lena is the youngest in our class in the FIFA Master, so she has grown so much from the day one first I met her, and then we have been through a lot, together, up and down. Just I think it's amazing how sports can really found the friendship. And then sometimes people was asking me, what is football means to you, because you always love football. Then I mean for me football is a friendship. It's as simply as that. Sports for me is a friendship. It's just amazing how it can bring the different people together. So Lena, thank you for having me, and we stay in touch soon. Okay, anything you would like to add again to the audience here?
Just thank you so much, Tisha, for having me, and seeing you on the screen even makes me miss you more and want to send you a big, big hug. And I think, yeah, as you said, you couldn't have said it better. Sport is like friendship and unites people and opens a lot of doors. So I think it's just dream big and follow your heart. And yeah, I miss you, Tisha.
I miss you too. Okay, Lena.
Thank you.